Customer Voice includes built-in integration with Dynamics 365 and Power Platform to enable you to create custom dashboard based on the survey responses and customer records in your customer management system. For this demo, I'm going to use the periodic customer feedback project from Chapter 7 of the Working with Microsoft Forms and Customer Voice book. This project has a single survey which includes a Net Promoter Score or NPS question, which is mapped to a satisfaction matrix. The survey is sent to bank customers in Dynamics 365. Each customer contact has branch information and each branch has a region. We will create a Power BI dashboard that calculates NPS score from each region and branch, as well as scores from key driver questions in the survey and their detailed answer. Selecting a branch filters the dashboard to the scores for that branch. For this demo, I'm going to use the customer feedback PBIX template file that you can download from GitHub at customervoice/Power BI. When you download and open the file, you can find a formatted empty dashboard. You can start by getting data from Dataverse. Customer Voice stores survey responses to your organization's Dataverse data storage location. Power BI has a new connector to Dataverse. However, at the time of this writing, the new Dataverse connector does not support multi-line text column type yet. Customer Voice uses multi-line text when storing survey results. Therefore, to support Customer Voice survey results, you will need to use the Common Data Service Legacy connector. Common Data Service is the previous name of Dataverse. When the Dataverse connector is updated to support multi-line column type, you can then use the Dataverse connector. The first thing you need to connect is to specify the environment URL. The URL is constructed by appending the environment name that you can get from Customer Voice All Projects view with a domain name. The domain name is associated with the region of your organization. You can look up the domain for your organization region from the Power Platform documentation. Since my demo subscription is based out of North America, I'm going to append the environment name with .crm.dynamics.com. The next step is to get the list of entities or tables. Customer Voice stores survey results in tables prefixed with MSFP underscore. Select project, survey, question, satisfaction matrix, and survey response. If you are not using Dynamics 365, then those are all the tables you need to create Power BI dashboard for Customer Voice. In our example, since the survey is connected to Dynamics 365 customer records, you can pull additional Dynamics 365 context information. As we discussed in the book, the survey response is added as an activity to the contact, and the relationship between the contact and the activity is stored in a table called Activity Party. I will explain a bit later how these tables are related. For now, let's also get branch information related to the contact and the branch region. After the data are downloaded, you need to do a bit data transformation. Select MSFP underscore survey response from the right panel and open the menu option and select Edit Query. We're going to join this table with another table using merge function and use a new query option. Join the survey response with MSFP underscore survey using MSFP underscore survey ID as the join column. Expand the survey table to include survey name and project. Name your new merge query results to survey response to make it easier to identify. The join table has many columns that we do not need. To simplify, let's remove those columns by selecting only the columns we need using the Choose Column function in Power BI. Remove all columns and select Activity ID, which stores the unique record identifier for the survey response. MSFP underscore question response list that stores the response from each question. If you are using survey variables in your survey, then the variable values is stored in MSFP underscore embed context parameter. MSFP underscore satisfaction matrix value stores calculated satisfaction matrix value. MSFP underscore submit date stores the date when the survey was submitted. And finally, include also the survey and project information from the survey table. Perform another merge query and connect with MSFP underscore project using MSFP underscore project ID. Expand the MSFP underscore project table by bringing in project name and selecting MSFP underscore name from the new join table. You can then use this column to filter the dataset using the project name. As mentioned earlier, the survey includes NPS satisfaction metrics, which we like to show in our dashboard. The satisfaction metrics values are stored in MSFP underscore satisfaction metrics value column. The satisfaction matrix stores the calculated results of the NPS question in a JSON format. You can use Power BI's parse JSON function to extract the data and select expand to a new row option. Select ID and value from the parse result. You can then use pivot column functionality to transform the satisfaction matrix ID and value from rows to individual columns. The pivot transforms the satisfaction matrix ID and value from rows into columns. The column appears as ID, and to identify which satisfaction metric ID is mapped to, then you can look up the value from the satisfaction matrix table. In our example, since there are only two satisfaction metrics, one for sentiment from the other with NPS, we can directly rename the satisfaction metrics column. The response to each question in the survey is stored in MSFP underscore question responses RIS. Like satisfaction metric values, the question response is stored in JSON format. Just like what we did before, you can use the parse JSON transformation to expand the question response to appear as its own rows. The question appears as IDs, and to get the question text, you can use the merge column function and merge the query with MSFP underscore question table using MSFP underscore source question identifier as the join column. Then extract MSFP underscore question text from the join table. After you get the question text, you can use the pivot function to move the questions into separate columns. All questions and responses are now appear as their own columns. One last transformation is on Activity Party. Activity Party table stores association between any type of activities related to a contact, including survey response activities. For the survey response, the activity party stores also other type of information, and to avoid duplication, we need to filter the activity party to only include type equal 1. Let's close and apply the data transformation to the Power BI. Before we can start creating the dashboard visualization, we need to create the relationship among the tables. To connect the tables, you can use the entity reference in Customer Voice documentation. Start with the survey response query results that we just created. Remove the relationship with other tables and keep only the link to Activity Party. Select a link between Party ID from Activity Party table to Contact ID in Contact table to connect the Activity Party to the contact. Finally, let's connect the contact to the bank branch table and branch to the region table. After we have the data model completed, we need to create a measure for NPS satisfaction metric score. In order to do this, you need to create a DAX formula in Power BI. You can use this formula to calculate the NPS score. When you are following this step on your own query, make sure to replace the survey response and NPS column name with your own table name and column name. The survey also contains Likert question type, and you can calculate score based on the question response by creating a new column for each of the key driver question. This is a simple function that replaces the response to the question, "I can talk to a teller quickly," with the numbers from 1 to 5. Repeat this step to create new column for all of your key driver questions. Now that we have all the columns we need, we are ready to create the dashboard. Drag and drop the NPS score measure to the card control on the top of the dashboard. Change the column name of the region name to make it more user-friendly. Then drag and drop the branch name to the region area on the dashboard. Then add the NPS score measure columns to the same area. This will automatically calculate the NPS score for each of the region. Rename the branch name column and drag and drop the branch name to the branch area. Similarly, drag and drop the NPS to the branch section of the dashboard to show the NPS score for each of the branch. Drag and drop key driver values from the new column that we created, as well as drag and drop the submit date to the same chart to create the trend line. Finally, you can show the actual answer from the survey in the table at the bottom of the page. Since the tables are related, you can filter the survey results by selecting the branch area or branch. With the Customer Voice, you can create custom dashboard using Power BI by connecting directly to the Dataverse. Since this is a live connection, you can use Power BI to refresh the data to get the latest feedback results instantly.